Hello and welcome. This is the AM Sprint series at Zandvoort. This is round 4, I think. No, this is round 3. This is round 3
This is
for the
round
AMs.
3 because the first round of the AMs was red flagged.
Yeah.
Zolder. But it is greasy and it is wet out there, and some notable mentions. We have the new CRM Boy of Hay on pole, with Red Fly splitting the two CRN cars, with CRN Shadow in 3rd place. A real notable mention, and probably the race to watch, is the absolute magnets to each other, MSX and AMG Dens, tied up on the grid next to each other on row 3. That's the fight to watch for me, and they're barely separable in any races you see them in, and it's going to be incredibly fun to watch what happens between M2 starting neck and neck on the grid.
We had a really good race in the Pro, but I do think, as we were discussing earlier, this could be it's a much tighter pack. They're not scared, are they, these AMs? They don't.
No, I think there's going to be maybe a little bit more door banging. There's a bit more inconsistency down the grid. The pole time's a little slower than 141. It's about half a second, 6/10 slower than the Pro pole time. But these drivers, they're all good, clean drivers. We do have a couple of new entries, new late entries to the AM Championship to watch out for. One to mention is Car Mentalist in 4th place, qualifying on 4th in his debut is pretty incredible.
It is, yeah.
But the battle to watch, in my opinion, I'm going to just keep my eye on. Obviously the run down to turn 1, but MSX and AMG Dens neck and neck. Those two are inseparable at any race, and here they are on a charge down to Tarzan. What's going to happen, guys? Well, as we wait for the green flag to drop, here we go. We are green. And Hay on the outside gets a better start in the Bentley on the Lexus of Redfly. CRN Shadow occupying the outside, having a look down into Tarzan. He will hold 3rd as MSX get a really good start and has a look around the outside of Car Mentalist, but couldn't get it done. And sits just in front
crash.
of AMG Dens.
Tropic Rot and I want to say Marksy Marks, possibly bouncing off the wall.
Marks, let's have a little look.
He's got away with it if he did. But definitely Tropic Rot in the
There was always going to be a bit of argy-bargy with the AM class go down into turn 1 at Tarzan. So for your starters then, we have it as you were for the top 6. There's been no change in the top 6. You have CRN Hay leading from Red Fly, CRN Shadow and Car Mentalist 3 and 4, with MSX leading from AMG Dens.
Car Mentalist is he's lost a position, hasn't he, to CRN Shadow, but I don't...
No, Car Mentalist did start in 4th.
Oh, he did, you're
Shadow
right.
started in 3rd, yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Then he's doing a really good job to put pressure on the McLaren.
Yeah, so we have 2 Lexus in the top 4 here. That's the first time we've seen more than one Lexus run, I think.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see what this debutante's going to do, because he's got to learn all the other drivers' habits, bad or good, whereas the other drivers tend to know each other's strengths and weaknesses by now. Particular mention would be for MSX and AMG Dens. Those two are always in and out of each other's mirrors. So CRN, the new signing CRN Hay, leading this race after qualifying on pole. A fantastic start from all of the top 6 or 7 drivers, really, as Prozac gets through on Marky Marks. Marky Marks loses position to that BMW. I'm not sure what happened to Marky Marks. She said he might have been tagged, might have been a bit of contact there.
Yeah, I think so. I will have a look though, back on the screen.
I'm just going to scout out some other races. Squat City in 12th place. It's all quite busy at the back. Squat City chasing Tropic Rot. Just in front of them you have a pack of Marky Marks on Prozac, obviously, and then you've got Defoe not far behind, Bazaboy not far behind him.
It was Bazaboy, sorry, and Tropic Rot.
So Bazaboy tagged, was who instigated the contact? Was it
was
lane
an
full of fair, or
oversteer.
were we talking a race incident?
It was oversteer into Tropic Rot oversteer into Bazaboy, pushing him off the track into the wall. But I'm sure there's two sides to the story.
There is two sides to every story, but you've got to remember in turn one of lap one, there's always got to be a little bit of room given to incidents of
Every
contact.
driver, yeah.
It does happen. And if you haven't watched our race streams before, please like and subscribe if you can. Bringing you the best of console Assetto Corsa Competizione racing.
And speaking of subscribers, we have hit 240 subscribers. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much, guys. I'll just give you a rundown of how this makes the championship look in the category then. So going into this race, CRN Shadow led from Hay by just 3 points. So at the moment, as it stands, if the race were to finish now, we'd have a new leader at the top of the table.
Oh, really?
Yes, we would.
Okay.
Hay would be ahead of CRN Shadow.
Of course,
very close
yeah.
to the top of the AM Championship. You have Shadow on 56, Hay on 53, and Redfly on 49. And Redfly himself is currently in second position. So you can't split these three drivers. They're at the top of the table for a reason, but they are also neck and neck in this race pretty much. It's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out through the course of this evening. And I just want to take a look down at ninth place. Marky Mark giving up positions left, right and centre. So Marky Mark has just lost position to Defoe as well.
Yeah.
So that puts Marky Mark down in ninth by my maths. So something's happened there, struggling for grip a little.
The cars behind are so close, they're all bunched up.
I mentioned that, yeah, they are. There's a queue forming behind Marky Marks, I believe. He's holding up the traffic a little bit here. Now you have, what, 4 or 5 cars all looking for their way past, and Bazaboy gets it done reasonably easily. You know, Marky Marks holds his line and holds the inside, very well defended by Marky Marks, but yeah, he is bleeding time and space on field as the mid-pack bunches up behind him, and
Car
pressure cooker
Mentalist
has to release. Carry on.
Car Mentalist brought the gap. It was up to a second. Now it's back down to 3/10, and he's going for the move down the inside on CRN Shadow, but didn't quite get the exit. But this battle could be one to watch. If you can get
CRN
a
Shadow's
podium.
really got to defend well. It would be good for Carmentis to get a podium on debut, but don't forget he is messing with the top of the table here. Shadow will lose a lead if he finishes like this, so Shadow will absolutely be defending that position with everything he has, because it is just so tight at the top, and without too many races left, CRN Shadow doesn't have these places to give up. Does lead the championship for now, but he will lose it if the race stays as it is. If we look down in 11th place, Bailey, that traffic queue is slowly making its way. Bazaboy has made his way through on Marky Mark, so Marky Mark's really struggling for grip. I'm not sure why or what the story is there, but he is not having a nice time. Is there a little bit of damage at the back of that car? Maybe.
Possibly.
But he is... If he does have a little bit of damage at the back and that rear diffuser is affected, then he's going to have a really difficult car to control, especially in greasy conditions. A lot of oversteer to manage, and that probably explains why so many drivers are mugging him off.
Yeah, Bazaboy just completed a textbook manoeuvre around the outside, became the inside, and he's got the move done on Defoe. Incredible.
Yeah, Bazaboy in the Ferrari looks to be really hot. Defoe as well has managed to take over Marky Marks, but it seems Bazaboy is the man with the pace in the Singer branded Ferrari there. And Tropic Rot has got to find his way through on the slowing Marky Marks. We'll have to find out after the race what's happened there, because he's getting mugged by all and sundry as Tropic Rot makes an easy move down the inside into Tarzan. It's almost like Marky Marks is giving these positions away. Saying that, he does get a better pull out of Tarzan, but Tropic Rot will have the line. There's contact. Marky Marks makes contact with Tropic Rot. Looked to me to be Marky Marks' fault.
Possibly, yeah.
From up here, there was he definitely tagged the rear, and he was not alongside of Tropic Rot. Tropic Rot managed to keep it on the circuit, but has lost 2 places as a result. I think Tropic Rock will be knocking on the door of the stewards after this race.
Not a problem. Red Fly is not making it 100% easy for CRN Hay, but Hay's having an excellent start to his race.
Yeah, he's keeping it neat and tidy. Red Fly keeping him honest. A second is the gap. We'll see what happens to that gap, whether it grows or shrinks. One thing's for certain, CRN is losing time to that queue, having to battle off Car Mentalist. He's found a little bit of daylight, but not too much. It's still only around half a second. And Car Mentalist is eager to show he can battle it with the big boys on debut. And we look further down then again at the battle with Marky Mark. So Marky Mark's now coming back at Defoe after all of that drama. Squat City, with some damage up the left hand side of his Ferrari, is going to be the next man queuing up behind to have a go at getting past Marky Marks.
Mark's looking a bit frustrated, maybe? I'm not sure. Maybe
certainly
I'm
is. I mean,
looking
it's a driver
too
of the
much.
thought, yeah, been more consistent on pace, or certainly been further up the field, but he's been mugged of positions for whatever reason. He is not finding it easy to keep cars behind him, which is going to be frustrating when you're watching cars just pass you left and right. It's always frustrating. What can you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Texas MC, a driver I love to watch, and a driver I wouldn't expect to be right down at the back of the grid, but he is. I don't know if he got involved in that contact earlier on. Doesn't look to be too much damage on that Porsche. He might just be struggling for grip out here at Zandvoort, but strange to see him right at the back there, plumb last.
Yeah, unfortunate really, and Car Mentalist bringing the gap down even more, and someone else bringing the gap down is Red Fly.
Yeah, and if we talking about gaps and talking about people fighting, we do have a fight developed between MSX and AMG Dens as well. These are drivers that are inseparable in any race you watch. You can just, if you find one driver, you'll find the other not far behind or in front. I mean, these two are always neck and neck. Never will you find two more evenly matched drivers, as AMG Dens and MSX battling it out for 5th place.
We've got these drivers 10th, I think, and below. Oh, sorry, 9th and below. Who's that? Defo? No. 9th and below. They're all really, really close on the final stretch.
We had that as well in race 1, where in the middle of the field it was all a little bit of a concertina, where the cars were all stuck behind one runner. It is quite tricky to overtake here. We do see some drivers manage to make plenty of overtakes at Zandvoort, but generally speaking it's a difficult track to get it done, and as you can see there is still a massive traffic jam behind Marky Mark. So Marky Mark somehow has got in front of Defoe, because Defoe was in front of Marky Mark. So now maybe Marky Mark has found his feet, maybe he's found a little bit of pace, who knows, but there is a big line forming now behind Defoe, so it looks like Defoe is the driver holding up these guys in that midship Audi. Got Ferrari, Mercedes, Porsche all behind him. But I think there was a bit of back marker issue. I think Texas is a lap down, actually.
Oh wow, okay.
Already.
Yeah, I agree, I think.
Potentially.
Car Mentalist is going. He's got the move done. Where's he gone? Where's CRN Shadow? He's gone off. CRN Shadow went off in the final corner.
Must have gone off, yeah. Did you see him go off?
Yeah, he's shot off.
Like
he's trying to warm up his tyres now.
Weaving down the start finish straight there. Unusual to see in an actual race, drivers weaving in a sprint race, but he's obviously struggling to put heat in those tyres, and this, ladies and gentlemen watching at home, is going to have a massive effect on the championship standings. CRN Shadow is the championship leader. Red Fly.
We've got 3 cars, 3 wide. Sorry, Stu, into the first corner.
Yeah, I see it. Squat City diving down into Tarzan, and the rest swinging through after him. Defoe and Shaka Zulu on the inside gives up and backs out of that fight. He didn't want anything to do with a bit of door banging there with Squat City. He's already got enough scuffs down the side of that car. Squat City gets a little bit out of shape.
Oh, Tropic Rot sends it on Defoe. Oh no, wait, hold on, where's Defoe?
Yep, Tropic Rot is ahead of Defoe.
Yeah, okay.
Shark Zulu is hunting down Squat City, and Squat City in that Ferrari is getting all sorts of out of shape. I think he must have taken some damage because he's struggling to hold that car around some of these corners, especially on the weight transition. So maybe that car's a little bit unsettled, a little bit out of balance. They are going to be struggling on temperature a little bit. The track temperature is 21 degrees, but with that moisture on top, it's going to wash the surface temperature off of those tyres.
Just watching AMG
and he goes on the inside. Sorry, Squat City has lost it. Sorry about that, Bailey, and Shaka Zulu has gone through.
Good stuff. When you said lost it, I thought you meant completely lost it, but you meant lost position.
No, he lost the back end and ran off
the
circuit.
Did he? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, MSX and AMG Dens you were talking about.
Yeah, just it's interesting because, as you said, they are very closely matched, and the gap they have between each other is possibly, you know, it could stay like that. Just that's how evenly matched they are, unless one of them makes a mistake.
If you want me to mention two drivers who just know each other so well and race close for however long the race, it doesn't matter if it's a 10-hour race, these two will still be neck and neck. AMG Dens and MSX always provide great racing action, and I cannot wait to see how that develops down into the latter stage of this race. 25 minutes left of a 40-minute race now.
Red Fly bringing the gap down slightly. I'm just wondering what exactly would be keeping him up with CRN Hay. Whether it's literally he loves this track and he's got the pure pace, race pace, or he's just reeling him in, maybe.
Well, they're both quality drivers. I mean, we are talking about second and third in the championship here. So they're both very competent competitors. That Lexus is, we know how quick it can be, and that Bentley is more of a straight line bully. So I think they're just kind of evenly matched with their driving styles and the cars they're in. I think it's going to be a bit of a ding-dong battle as Hayes trying to find his race pace and rhythm. He's got no one in front to kind of mark off against. And Red Fly's obviously got his dander up and the adrenaline pumping because he's the chaser. You know, he can see the braking points, he's got something to chase after. So Hayes got the difficult job, like I said, in race one with the leader. It's difficult round here. You've got to set the pace and you've got to set the rhythm. It's not about putting in quickest lap after quickest lap to try and make a gap sometimes. It's about finding a comfortable rhythm and dictating the pace of this race. And not caving into the pressure of the car behind.
So AMG Dens actually, he's brought the gap down to 3/10. He took a bit too much curb, and I think it's going to shoot up to about 5/10, I imagine, in the next time. 5/10.
Where we're looking at Dens and MSX.
It wasn't a huge mistake, but it's cost him 2/10. But I mean, he knows what he's got to do, and whether.
Well, we saw this in race one. Sorry, with the pros, the circuit did get a little bit wetter with the pro drivers again, and the same thing is happening here. So it started off a little bit sort of greasy, and now you're talking proper sort of damp track. Still not worth putting wets on, but it's certainly gonna make those drivers who use a lot more of the circuit, who use the aprons and use the curves, it's gonna make them think twice, because you're gonna start running out of grip out there. There's not gonna be much to find for you out there. So I think some drivers are just readjusting, if you know what I mean, trying to find a new rhythm.
Yeah, I think like you just said, finding a rhythm is quite key.
It is. I mean, no other circuit more so than Zandvoort. It's a roller coaster here. You know, it undulates and it weaves in and out, and it's constantly shifting on you. The only straight at all really is the start-finish straight, and the rest of the time you are sort of coasting around this beautiful flowing circuit, and you do really have to settle into a rhythm, and rhythm is the name of the game around Zandvoort, more so than almost any other circuit I can think of, really. When AMG Dens has swallowed that gap whole, and he looks to me like he's down to about 0.2 of a second, if that.
That is, yeah. It's that straight line speed of the Mercedes, and then
and its stability. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
It does rely on using a lot more circuit because it is a little bit of a boat. You know, it does understeer a little bit. You've got to drag that front axle into the corners sometimes. So when you do need to stay off the curbs, it can sometimes be a little bit difficult to do. But he seems to have found his rhythm now, and he's hunting MSX down.
If AMG Dens can keep this gap to what it is now, it will be the closest they've been on coming on the main straight.
You'd think so, but I mean, like I said, these drivers know each other very well. MSX is very familiar with what AMG Dens can do, and vice versa. As AMG Dens takes a yeet up the inside, has he got it done, or is he going to run too deep? He sends it and he gets it done and sticks it. It wasn't too messy either. He didn't run too deep on the outside. I thought, well, that was a very late braking manoeuvre. He's going to run very, very deep here, but he doesn't. He manages to stick it on circuit and get it done. Kudos, AMG Dens.
You were saying that MSX.
Curse of the commentator. Curse of the commentator. That is 1-0 to AMG Dens in my book, and MSX is if he was falling asleep at the wheel, he's going to be wide awake now.
Oh yeah. We do have a retirement. Defo Span in the first sector, maybe the middle sector, I'm not sure. He's gone back to the pit, so I can imagine he's retiring.
Yeah, so Defoe sadly was caught up in that traffic jam behind Marky Marks. He did get through, but I think just struggling on the low grip, as so many drivers are unable to make it happen. As we look further down the leaderboard, then Bailey at Hater Spray in 13th place. There's a little bit of a queue. Amuda, Hater Spray and Squat City are all having a little Ding Dong Derby. And what happened there? Was that
well, he went for the move and the move wasn't there.
Amuda, I don't think it was as selfish as that. I think it was just a little he misjudged the car in front's braking point, and he did the right thing. He did everything to avoid contact.
Exactly,
so instead of punting, he sacrificed his own race, if you like, by getting out of the way. For me, from how it looked, big rep to Amuda for that. Oh, the Lamborghini of Hater Spray. I don't know if we're still watching him. I don't think you are, but Hater Spray just absolutely hung adrift around the last corner. Just snatched the rear brakes a little bit and just drifted the whole way around. It was quite beautiful to watch. Shame we missed it. Sorry about that, guys. We should catch up with the battle at the front then, I think, Bailey, should we?
Yes, because Car Mentalist is gaining on the top two.
It is. It's going to be a Lexus on Lexus battle if Redfly doesn't find his pace again. Just seems to be struggling to get the nose in a little bit on that Lexus from Redfly. Just on that tight corner there, he's just a little bit late to swing it in. I don't know if he's struggling to get temperature into the front tyres or not. I'm not sure. If you are watching at home, let us know in the comments who you are looking forward to watching, or what your predictions are for the battles that are unfolding. Of course, we have a number of battles unfolding, and one to jump to now, I think, would probably be the battle for 7th place, possibly with Prozac in the BMW, in that gorgeous looking BMW, hunting Bazaboy down. We saw Bazaboy on a charge earlier on. And he is currently finding himself in 7th place, with Prozac and the BMW chasing him down.
Car we don't see often is the BMW, same with the Lexus.
Yeah, I was going to say that. We don't see a lot of BMWs. We might normally see one Lexus, but it's nice to see a BMW on the grid, and that one's got a gorgeous livery on it as well. Got to keep looking at that battle at the front, I'm afraid. It's difficult to take my eyes off it because Redfly is again making moves. I think he's just spotted the red and black Lexus in his mirrors, and he's decided to pull his pants up and stick his foot down because he's all over CRN Hay, but yeah, it just looks round that hairpin. I said it last lap as well. He just seems to struggle to get his nose in a little bit. I don't know if that's a character of the Lexus, right the way round this circuit. I'm not sure, but seems to be struggling a little bit for turning.
Look how close now. Yeah, so the top three. This is I think Hay might be no, I wouldn't say he's worried because we know what he can do. But he does do better, I think, when he hasn't got the pressure of a car behind.
You're right, and we say it time and time again. It's very difficult to be the car in front when you've got nothing but full mirrors, and you dictate the pace, and it's your job to kind of manage that strategy. The car behind, the recipe is simple. You know, put your foot to the floor and stick as close as possible to the car in front.
Yep.
It makes the race go a lot quicker. You've constantly got reference points given to you from the car in front. But being the car in front with nothing but clear air ahead of you, it can be really lonely, even if you've got all that pressure behind you.
Just watch Tropic Rot. He was going to make a move, he didn't quite. He was smart enough to pull out of it.
Yeah, Shark Zulu seems to be all over the back of Marky Marks as well. Again, I mean, Marky Marks isn't actually doing too bad. He is in 9th place, so things have happened, and he's managed to recover a little bit. But he's certainly not at the pace that he would want to be at. He certainly keeps finding himself backing cars up. So what the full story is there, I don't know, but I'm sure we'll find out after the race. And look at the lonely championship leader then, CRN Shadow, all on his own, probably the most lonely driver out there,
yes.
Even though he's in 4th place, he's riding high, but he has got acres of space. He'd be forgiven for thinking every other car is retired, to be honest, because he can't see the car in front and he can't see the car behind.
Can I just add what AMG Den must have been holding back before he set the lunge on MSX? He must know, he must really like this track, I'm not too sure.
He's found a little bit of daylight, hasn't he?
2.6
seconds, which I'm surprised about, because MSX and AMG Dens are on-track besties and are always very close. But yeah, AMG Dens, as he gets through on the back marker, Frozone there, seems to have found a little bit of daylight. Whether that was simply, getting through back markers, the gap has happened, but I doubt it. Maybe MSX has had a few little wobbles. Maybe not as confident on his tyres. We saw another McLaren driver. It was actually CRN Shadow, wasn't it, who was weaving down the straight. I'm wondering if the McLarens, more than some of the other cars, are struggling a little bit to keep heating their tyres, and that's what's happening to MSX as well as this track gets wetter and wetter.
Yeah.
We don't know. We know that the Mercedes is always going to be a more stable platform. Big front engine over the front axle,
Oh, sorry, Stu. Red flag's gone off. Car Mentalist is going down the inside. He's gonna get the move done.
This is Lexus on Lexus, so there is not going to be anything done. So Red Fly does manage to hold on.
That was close, though. That was really close.
So what happened? Did he just?
Yeah, lack of grip. Oversteer. Oversteer.
Okay.
Understeered. He's understeered. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I did say that a lap and the lap before as well.
A bit ago, yeah.
Red Fly just seems to be struggling a little bit to get the nose in. Whether he's gone for an understeery setup, more stable setup to kind of maybe running. I don't know. I don't know why he would be. This is what I would consider a fairly downforce reliant circuit. At least for me, it is. Car Mentalist is going to have another go, but if Red Fly is running lower downforce, then we would expect him to be able to zip off in a straight line.
Yeah. Mentalist did a good job, though.
Just seems to be a little bit late on turning. Just seems to struggle to get that Lexus in. You can see Car Mentalist is always inside him, a bit like a dogfight. He's always inside Red Fly. So
big crash! Big crash!
Where we looking?
10th. He crashed with Marksy Marks. Where's Marksy Marks? Has he gone off as well? Yeah, Marksy Marks is off.
So there is a Mercedes.
Huge crash.
There's a Mercedes parked in the middle of the circuit, and he's going to want to make sure he's not.
Oh, that was awful.
Did we see who instigated it? So Marky Marks is now in the pit, so it looks like a retiree.
Typical move on a tight circuit like this doesn't work, and it was a tap. It was a tap, and it was more of a tap. It was because it was so fast. I think because the Mercedes is so heavy, it was a punch to the side. Well, look at the front of the car. I mean, the bonnet's lifted.
Let's get back on this battle for the Lexuses, because it is hot. Two drivers that are going to keep it a little more neat and tidy, as far as we know, as Redfly just runs a bit wide. He runs miles wide, and Carl Mestis gets through. I really think Redfly is struggling with the setup of his car. He's always just a little bit late on nose in, and the pressure has caved in. And Carl Mentalist, with what seems to be a much more balanced car, even though it's another Lexus, has managed to make a move. Well, it wasn't even a move really, it was a gift, it was a birthday present. Looks like all of his Sundays have come in one little section for Carl Mentalist there.
Oh, and Red Fly's gone. Red Fly's gone. He's lost it. You're right about that turning though. I was watching it and it gone. Like Sebastian Vettel on race day, that is.
Very unfortunate Red Fly, and this has massive ramifications for the championship. CRN Shadow now, who's miles behind, but he's learned the lessons of earlier on and just slowed his pace down because he's on his own. He's now going to be thinking Red Fly is having an absolute mare. So perhaps there's a race in me yet. And all this means is that Hay gets a more secure championship lead. He's not the leader of the championship at the moment, but he will be if he manages to hold first place. Carl Mentalist will be looking to make it difficult for him. There's only 2 seconds of gap, and Carl Mentalist is the car with the rub of the green at the minute. He's got the benefit of getting Red Fly out of the way, and now he seems to have good pace. He's taken 2/10 in a matter of a couple of corners on CRN leader.
Just in the comments, people are asking it whether it's getting wetter. I'm not convinced it's getting wetter.
It has got wetter from the start.
From the start, yes.
On a greasy circuit. It's now damp out there, but not enough to go onto wet. What you are going to see is what I said earlier. Drivers have set up for a greasy circuit where there was still a little bit of heat generated in the tyres, and now with that extra water on the circuit, even though the track temperature is 21 degrees, which isn't so bad, that moisture on the surface of the tyre is going to rinse the surface temperature from the front tyres, which is probably why you see a few of the cars struggling on for front end grip going into some of these corners. Marky Marks is now in the chat. We were mentioning Marky Marks throughout a lot of this race. He was backing up some of the traffic for a long time, and then I don't fully know what happened with that contact, but perhaps he can tell us in the comments what happened there.
So back to the comments. Mr. Death Zone, which was P2 last race.
Yeah.
He's just given us some inside information about how his tyres are feeling. On the last lap, he said they were giving up. So, if lack of grip was a problem, then, in my professional opinion, Stu, Red Fly with his understeery setup that we were seeing, he wasn't producing enough temperature in his tyres, and obviously the cold. Well, it's 15 degrees, 21 degrees track temp. I'm just wondering maybe. If because he didn't have enough turn
possibly. I mean, to be fair, with an understeery car, I think he'd be generating too much temperatures in his front tyres if he's got an understeery setup, because he's loading over the front axle more than he wants to. But I would say in cold temperatures, it was similar in the Formula 1 race if you watched it at Nürburgring, where temperatures are a little bit colder, the tyres grain up because they're not warm enough, not soft enough, you know what I mean. They're a little more brittle. They do grain up a little bit, and they do lose grip a little bit in lower temperatures. So if they are struggling to get heat in, that doesn't mean that the tyres aren't going to wear. It's easy to say hot temperatures, more tyre wear, but that's not necessarily the case. In colder temperatures you can get a lot of tyre wear as well, but you just don't get the benefit of the grip that you get from a nice, warm, soft tyre.
Yeah, and we all like warmer tyres, don't we? Can't deny that.
Yeah, I mean, the telling thing was CRN Shadow, who has now squeezed that lead down to 5 seconds on red flight because of the earlier incident, but he was weaving down the start-finish straight earlier on, wasn't he? And we've seen the other McLaren of MSX also fallen off the back of AMGs, so I'm wondering if some of the mid-engine cars are struggling with grip, struggling to keep shape in the mid-corner phase, as they often do, because if you look at most of the cars in the sort of top 10, if you like, are front-engined. You've got the two McLarens, the exceptions to which we've seen both of those struggle in where they normally would be. MSX would normally be right on the heels of AMG Dents, and CRN would normally be right at the top of the pack. So whether the mid-engined cars are struggling a little bit for mid-corner traction in the cold temperatures, I don't know, but it would appear so to me.
Yeah. So 6
it helps having.
Yeah.
Sorry, it helps having weight over one of the axles, doesn't matter which one it is, rear or front, to generate heat into tyres, because you've got weight on the driven wheels. It doesn't matter what's going on.
Yeah.
But with the midships, it's not quite as simple as that. Continentalist has fallen off the back a little bit of CRN Hay. It's still, the tail of the tape isn't quite accurate. I don't think that leaderboard suggests 1.2 seconds is wholly accurate. Maybe it is, but it looks a little bit closer to me. But either way, CRN Hay has probably just turned the dial up one notch, gone through the gears a little bit, and just taken some of the pressure off himself.
Yeah, you can't blame him either, can you?
No, it's been a stunning drive all the way through from CRN Hay. He's going to be, if the race stays like this and there is only 5 minutes left, he's going to be the new leader of the AM Championship, and well deserved. CRN Shadow would love for Car Mentalist not to exist, because at the moment you've got the debutant who's not going to be fighting for the championship win.
Yeah.
Is very much ruining CRN's championship at the minute, as he did have a 3-point advantage over Hay, but Hay is going to take a lead of, off the top of my head, maybe 7 or 8 points, maybe 6 points.
Oh, hello.
Of a lead.
Ferrari Amuda has just gone off after battling with Spot City. So I'm just gonna have to look back on the stream. Yeah, he's just lost it. Yeah, he's gone straight on. So I'm wondering if it's more than damp now. It's really affecting the tyres.
I think the cars that appear to be suffering most with the water have the engine slap bang in the middle of the car. They seem to be the cars that are struggling most. I know we see the McLaren in 4th place, but that's not normally where I'd expect to see CRN Shadow. I'd expect to see him, fight for 1st or 2nd. So I think the midships are struggling on this sort of intermediate weather, if there were such a thing as an intermediate tyre in GT racing. So the pole lap, Maverick 96 was asking what was the pole time. The pole time was a low 1:41. In the pro race it was a 1:40, so about half a second to a second slower in the AM, and that was set by CRN Hay, who started from pole and has led from start to finish.
Yep.
And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really helps. We love all of you guys joining on these race streams. We have a massive event coming up on Friday with the Suzuka 100. We will be streaming the Invitational race, which is 20 of the best drivers on console, full stop, in the ACT world, between SOP Motorsport and CRN. However, we will also be having 100 drivers total, so we'll have, is it 5 races overall? Yes, it's 5 races, that's my maths. So we'll have 5 races running simultaneously, we'll have 100 drivers racing the same event, Obviously not on screen at the same time because we can't have that facility. It's going to be a huge console event. Plenty of content to enjoy. You can get involved in the chat. You can put yourself down on the waiting list. I think we are full up. We have got 100 drivers signed up for that event, which is monumental. It is without a shadow of a doubt the biggest event in sim racing on console.
Yeah.
Full stop, and that is brought to you by Coach Dave Academy, SOP Motorsport, CRN, and Ace Lith Designs. You can find out more about those on our Discord and in the description of this video once it goes up.
Yep, and speaking of Discord, we are one member away from 700 members, which is a great
Yeah, it's
milestone.
great. And even if you don't have the confidence to join in the races, which you should do because we welcome everyone.
Do it.
It's a great place to get support, to get tips, setups, you know, just racing advice, just to talk about motorsport generally. It's just a fantastic place to be. The Discord community, you know, makes us proud every time we kind of switch our computers on. Really, there's some great guys in there, and yeah, nearly 700 of them.
The battle for the lead is getting super spicy. CRN was flat. Sorry.
What have you done, Bailey? Because all of a sudden, CRN Hay was having his dinner off his lap, chilling out at the front, and now Car Mentalist is looking right down the middle of his exhaust pipe.
He had a back marker. He was flashing him out the way, and a back marker actually then span, trying to get out of the way.
That's exactly what
Car Mentalist is absolutely flying.
Can he get a toe down here into Tarzan? You're going to struggle against Bentley, aren't you? Because he's just got pull. There's a final lap. Can Car Mentalist send it somewhere? Is CRN Hay going to risk having a quali lap? Is he going to put everything to one final lap? As Car Mentalist looks around the outside, there's no room there, pal. You're going to have to back off.
Yes.
Pick your moment. What you can't do here on the final lap is just try and send it anywhere.
Silly. Yeah.
Pick your space, get it in your head, stay on the back of the car in front, and make your move where you've predetermined it's going to happen. If CRN Hay makes a mistake, fine, take advantage of it, but don't just try and send it every corner, because what's most likely going to happen, you're going to drop time.
Yeah, be smart about it. Don't, especially don't take out the championship leader.
No, that will not be looked kindly upon. I think CRN Shadow, even though he's a teammate, he's also a CRN driver. CRN Shadow wouldn't mind that all too much.
No, absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, we will see Car Mentalist file in behind, start to get a little bit sensible. Just think about your gap. You can make it work into the final corner.
This is it. I think this is where he has to make his move, because he's much faster in these slow corners.
Well, he's also got the heavy braking zone of the chicane.
Yeah, the chicane.
So he could take a little look there. But for me, what I would do is file in behind and have a good go at the exit of the final corner. I know the Bentley has good pull, but that Lexus has got plenty to give.
Oh yeah. But I must say,
CRN Hayes is pulling out a little bit of a gap. He has
nothing, absolutely nothing can stop CRN Hay today.
No, and that's what gives you this championship lead. That's what gives you not just one individual race pace. That's what gives you championship points time and time again. What a blind of CRN Hay, and from a debutant, Car Mentalist, fantastic performance. Second place. What are you doing? Started fourth, finished second. Brilliant. Let's check out CRN Shadow and Red Fly. So Red Fly's in a world of his own. He's crossed the line now. CRN Shadow again, been in his own race. He must have lost time as well, because he was catching up to Red Fly at one point. Who is going to be behind AMG Dens?
Very happy, I'd say, getting past MSX so early on.
Yeah, and MSX was never able to do anything more, but I think that was a case of mid-engine cars really struggling on tyre temperatures, which is going to be interesting for anyone out there really on that damp conditions. The mid-engine cars are just really struggling. MSX comes through in 6th. Prozac should be in 7th. He's on his own there. Tropic Rot 11 seconds behind. Will collect 8th if he doesn't bin it. Bazaboy will be 9th, and Hater Spray has already finished in 10th. So that is your race, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you did miss any of this race, you can watch it again and the pro race again tomorrow, when the videos will both be up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.